Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long goes 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug him. Long goes 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Was Post 1975, and yes, you've read the title. Welcome back to another PlayStation Classic video. This will probably be the last video I make on it, apart from gameplays of the games that I have on it, but I had to make this video. And is the title too strong? You know, the PlayStation Classic is now a must-own machine. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'm sure, you know, stipulations. I, have no doubt whatsoever that the Raspberry Pi is a far better emulation system than this. I have no, doubts or reservations that the emulation on this is not, bulletproof or anything like that. That's not why I'm making that statement. So, if people are just going to read the title and just going to go, "Oh, stick my Raspberry Pi," so be it. I'm not arguing that. I own 2 Raspberry Pis. I own an amazing one inside a custom Mega Drive, full-size Mega Drive with a custom cartridge. The lovely lady Zarah De La Rocha, who helped me with the games I'm going to talk about in this video, sent me a couple of years ago, and I have my own Raspberry Pi that I made myself, and it's in a custom Sinclair ZX Spectrum case. So I am fully aware of the merits of the Raspberry Pi and its superiority, to this, I guess, and the Mini NES and the Mini SNES. It's not about that. It's about that I think now that this is a must-own system. But there's a number of reasons that I will get to as to why that is. But I do quickly want to say, on the Raspberry Pi front, because I love the Raspberry Pi. I'm not saying anything negative about it. I really do love it. I think you've got to remember that this approach with the PlayStation Mini, is a lot simpler. I know there's people out there just go, "Oh, come on, the Raspberry Pi is easy." No, but it can, to some degree, be daunting for people who've never done anything like that. Whereas this system, modding this and stuff like that it's just a case of watching a YouTube video. I know you could say that's the same as a Raspberry Pi, but I'm sorry, I'm going on record saying I think this is simpler and easier. Just going on YouTube, watching a video, finding the files you need, copying to the stick, etc., following simple steps with how you plug it into the system, boot it up, and how you turn it off, powering and stuff like that. So I can see that this could be appealing to people more so than going the Raspberry Pi route. That's all I'm saying. If that's wrong, by all means, hate me, thumb me down. Because that will really show me. Shake harder, boy. Sorry, anyway. But, this is appealing. And also, if you look at it for what it is, for how I want it, I wanted a PlayStation Classic. Sony fucked it up, which is a good thing. We'll get to that. I wanted a PlayStation Classic. Now I've got one. It's the PlayStation Classic I should have been given. I should have got. Sony should have gave me. So, that's kind of cool as to, I don't want to put anything else on this. I want this to purely be a PlayStation Classic that is basically properly done, albeit done myself. Again, that comes back to Sony fucking this up. So, anyway, PlayStation Classic videos I've done. First of all, the list of games was underwhelming, and there were PAL ones on there. I'm not going to... Because the first thing I said about the PlayStation Classic, like a lot of people, was I was really excited, really, really eager for it. And then as stuff trickled out, and it's almost embarrassing that Sony weren't ashamed to show off this and send free review models to big YouTubers, knowing, well, they must have known that this was a weak effort and a cash grab. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. When it was first announced, I, like a lot of people, based off the back of, Nintendo's mini consoles, was super, super excited. And the PlayStation has a big heart, a big place in my heart, I should say, and a lot of people of my generation, because it just blew us all away when it came out. So then when, information started to trickle out and such, and that the list of games was really underwhelming. The first 5 games mentioned were shit hot. But then the next ones were like, really? You're going that route? Why those? License issues, things like that? I don't know. Resident Evil 2's not on there. It's on mine. Resident Evil 2's not on there, maybe because of the remake, which, as we record, I've just bought today. That's irrelevant, I know, but I thought I'd put it in there. So license issues aside, things like that, Crash Bandicoot Collection may roll out where Crash Bandicoot isn't on there. But There were other games they could have put on there. It's really, really weak. And then we found out that there were power ROMs on there. Maybe that's because they needed it to have all languages available in it. Still weak. Particularly for those of us from the United Kingdom who grew up. Well, I didn't have a Japanese PlayStation, but those of us, other us, who grew up in the UK and had to put up with PAL systems, it's shit. And obviously it's irrelevant, a thing of the past on modern TVs. Anyway, then it got, we saw the review units go out, and it was like the weak interface, no scan lines, stuff like that. Dear God, Sony, this is, what have you done here? This reeks of just a cheap cash grab. And it bit them in the ass. It backfired against them. I got mine on pre-order. The thing is, a lot of money was given to, well, not a lot, half of it was given to me by other people, and I put the rest to make it a Christmas present. So, it was my Christmas present. So I see a lot of people saying, I sent it back when I found out how shit it was, got a refund, and then bought it again when it was cheaper. Maybe I could have done that, but I refuse to, because essentially, to me, it's a Christmas present. That makes it sacred. I'm not sending it back. But, again, that will factor into why I think this is an amazing system now for, playing PlayStation games on, retro games on. Retro PlayStation games on. I'll get there in a minute. I haven't had any caffeine yet, and I've just got home from work. So, basically, now, why is it a must-own system? Well, we saw it all the way along. First of all, people find out that, because of its PSX, I can't remember what, but it's an off-the-shelf old emulator on there. They use someone else's emulator, which is weak. But people found out by putting a USB keyboard, a certain make of manufacturers, obviously, into it, you can access the actual, sort of emulation settings. You can add scan lines, which I still haven't got around to doing, even though I have accessed the settings. You can add scan lines, you can select the region of the ROMs and stuff like that. But that was the first step towards, hang on a minute, big things are coming, big things are coming. And then obviously within less than a week, it was hacked, and people found out a way to put games onto it. So these were two very, very, very good things. But at this point, it's still overpriced. But then there was the backlash against it for, well, how little effort had been put in it, the list of games on it, the fact that some of them were power on it, and the emulation wasn't absolutely 100%. It's pretty good to me. I'm perfectly happy with it. So that backlash meant that people weren't buying it. Lots and lots of units sat on store shelves, sat in warehouses, stuff like that, and everyone started to drop the price. First of all, a little bit slowly, and then really, really, really quickly. And I've seen them go for 25 quid. Reason two, why you should buy one now. It's a must-own system. Reason one being Sony's absolute laziness and lack of effort, allowing it to be hacked in such an easy fashion, allowing you to add games in such an easy fashion, is a reason to buy it. Coupled with reason two, no idea why I'm doing this with my fingers. Reason two being, it is so cheap now. It is super, super cheap. I've seen them for 25 quid online. I mean, that's in itself probably would be a reason to buy, even if you weren't going to hack it for curiosity's sake, because as fucked up and a failure it was originally, it is a very, very nice looking unit. But 25 quid if you can find it. Something is like missed its point of not doing well when even cash converters and CEX, cash grabbing, overpricing whores who really don't understand how to price something, they drop theirs from 70, which they thought was cheap when it was still 100, to 50, and now it's like 40 quid in those stores. In those stores, CX and cash converters. So, you know what? I wonder if it's going to go the other way in a few years or so, because it is so easily hackable and easy to add games to and access the emulation settings, all because Sony was lazy. Anyway, that's basically why I think you should, get it now. It's unbelievably easy to hack. You can access all the emulation settings. Obviously you can play NTSC ROMs. Now you can make your perfect setup, your perfect PlayStation Classic. This is what I mean. Sony's laziness makes it your game to make your own individual, separate or different from everyone else's PlayStation Classic. You can make your perfect PlayStation Classic, and that's why I think it is a must-own system. That and the fact that, as I said at the start of the video, that the pie route isn't for everyone. Not everyone likes pies. Apart from those who ate them all. So, yeah. Now, anyway, onto my side of this. I hacked mine. I had a really small memory stick at the time, so I only had a couple of games on there. But like I said, this is not a technical video. You just need to type it into YouTube. You'll find it. Rename your memory stick Sony. Plug it in, turn it on, follow other people's videos. Like I said, this isn't a technical video of any kind, but it's super easy to follow. And then, you know, get your various files and stuff like that, rename folders, etc, 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 get images if you want it to make it your proper own classic PlayStation, and there you go. You know, you're adding stuff. People all said, like, oh no, I've got to have a USB stick. There's an amazing thing about the USB stick, at least I think so, which we'll get to later. But does that really look that bad? Does it? Is that like a game changer? Like, holy shit, this thing's so fucking ugly now, I'm going to throw it out with the baby in the bathwater, you know? It's like, no, it's not. And also, once you unplug it, obviously don't do it live, if you want to keep them, all the original games are on there, and there are a few good ones on there, such as Final Fantasy and Metal Gear Solid, so you get to keep them on the internal memory, and not, obviously, it doesn't replace it when you do it like this, so you get, you know, you get the benefit of some of those good games. Now, anyway, when people say, is it as good to, you know, hack as the PlayStation, the SNES and NES Mini, I mean, that is a superior system when it comes to emulation, there's no doubt about that. It runs PlayStation games better than this. But, you know what you do when you run out of internal memory? You don't on this, because you never use it. You just keep sticking this in. And then, this is what I really, really, really like. But we'll get to that in a moment. Anyway, I'll tell you the story of how I got this. I'm jumping ahead. Sorry, I do that when I get excited. And all that without caffeine. So, and why am I holding this up? So anyway, my mate Zara, she's kept messaging me on Facebook Messenger and saying she's the lovely lady, the awesome person, my amazing good friend who sent me my modded Xbox, creating me that custom Raspberry Pi Mega Drive, and she was messaging me behind the scenes saying, "Have you hacked?" And I said, "Yeah, no, that sounded rude. Yeah, I have. It's, you know, quite simple and easy. But I got a few games on there. Only got a small memory stick." And then she said, "Here's a link to one that's really, really, really cheap." And I ignored that and bought another one that was incompatible. But it's really, really cheap, and it's 64 gigabyte, and it's got to be USB 2 because I've maxed out how many games that I can get on it. Send me a memory stick, and I'll send them to you. In fact, just send me a memory stick and I'll just copy my setup onto it and send it back. So she did. And these are her, you know, like, choice of games, her personal choice of games, stuff that she absolutely loved from playing back in the day as a kid. And they're quite close to mine because we have very similar game taste. But I'm going to show you the list now, and I might even show you a couple just to prove some points and stuff like that. So let's take a look at this right now. So I just wanted to prove a point. This is me firing it up without the memory stick in, and obviously all your original stuff shows up here. Now you're probably thinking, well, hang on a minute, in like early videos showing the hack, when people did it, I saw the game show up here. I mean, like I said, this isn't sort of you know, a tech video or anything like that. I guess it depends on what tutorial you follow or stuff like that. But anyway, right, let's power it off, and then I can power it off, don't do a live swap, and stick in the memory stick. So we just powered it on with the memory stick in, and then it does this. I was told it's perfectly normal, but I'm not gonna lie, I still did shit my pants a little bit. But that's probably because I'm just such a, well, a shit your pants guy. But you just wait, right? Perfectly normal, perfectly natural, give it a few seconds, and then it just kicks into the menu like normal. I'm assuming this is just because obviously it's reading it off you know, a memory stick and not its internal memory. So, you know, I can live with that. Still warns you about epilepsy. That's nice of it. So here's my menu. These are all the ROMs that Zara sent me, but this is what I mean about making yourself a personal PlayStation classic. So look, Crash Bandicoot, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the original Tekken, Spyro, Gran Turismo, Medal of Honor, Metal Slug, Driver, WWE SmackDown 2, Die Hard Trilogy, Marvel vs. Capcom, which I never even knew was on the system. Yeah, I know, I live under a rock, or did so back then. Tekken 2, Jackie Chan, Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Here's an interesting one. Grand Theft Auto, you know, GTA's expansion pack, 60s London. It just runs the expansion pack. There's no need for, like, you know, the other one in here, which is kind of cool. Well, very cool. Medal of Honor Underground, which is the second one. King of Fighters 98. Why don't I just read the text and not the thumbnail? I don't know. Obviously, you have to add the thumbnails if you want them. The original Tomb Raider, which obviously should have been on there. Crash Bandicoot 2. Soul Blade, which obviously should have been on there. Gex. Thrill Kill, obviously, that was never going to be on there. But yeah, that's epic. Thanks, Zara. Bloody Roar 2, epic. Street Fighter 03, which obviously a Street Fighter 0 game should have been on there, or Alpha game. Crash Team Racing probably should have been on there because, you know, like Mario Kart on the NES one. SNES one. Samurai Showdown 3, Blades of Blood, Crash Bash. Medieval definitely should have been on there. Duke Nukem, Crash Bandicoot Warped, Tekken 3, which is obviously the NTSC version, Alien Trilogy, Amazing Klonoa, which definitely should have been on there. Croc 2, Colin McRae Rally Classic, Quake 2, oh my god, Hogs of War, never played it, it's got Rick Mel in it, time for me to sort my life out. Ray Tracers, Ridge Racer, which I personally would have put the original one on there, not 4. Wipeout, which definitely should have been on it. Capcom vs SNK, which I never even knew it existed because I'm a sad bastard. GTA 2, Skull Monkeys, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is amazing, R-Type, Delta, fantastic, Asteroids, Micro Machines V3, Street Racer, Tyco RC Assault and Battery, King of Fighters 99, FIFA 99, which is amazeballs, Pac-Man World, V-Rally 2, V-Rally 97, Actua Soccer 2, that's legendary. Dino Crisis, which definitely should have been on there. Dino Crisis 2, Epic, WCW Mayhem, Worms Armageddon, FIFA Soccer 2005, which I believe is the last official release for the original PlayStation, Tenchu 2 Amazeballs, Real Bout Garu Densetsu, which I'm guessing is Fatal Fury, Fatal Fury Wild Ambition, Driver 2, Samurai Showdown Warriors Rage, Parappa the Rapper, which definitely should have been on there, Ridge Racer Type 4, I'm guessing that's the NTSC version because the one that is on there is crap, Colin McRae Rally 2.0, Dead or Alive Legendary Physics, that's all I'm going to say. Porsche Challenge, that's right because it's Porsche not Porsche. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, definitely should have been on there. Legacy of Kain, classic. Spider-Man, classic. Pepsi Man, well, I'll leave you to draw your own conclusions. Silent Hill, definitely should have been on there. Alone in the Dark, Evil Dead, Hail to the King, Contra, Resident Evil 2, can you tell I'm getting excited? Resident Evil 3, Castlevania Chronicles, and there we go. Oh, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, Theme Hospital, Vigilante 8, Doom, Rayman 2 The Great Escape, there we go. So, there you go. Basically, half the shit that Zarah so kindly put on it for me is what should have been on the PlayStation Classic. So as you can see, you know, with a 64GB stick, you've got a lot of room for making your very own personal custom PlayStation Classic. So as you can see, there's like 60, was it 60? I didn't count, I should have counted. There's like 60 or so games on there, not including, you know, the ones on the internal memory, so it doesn't replace them. But, you know, they're all NTSC, you know, they're all her personal choice. And it just goes to show that you can create, you know, a large chunk of games, library-wise, that, you know, are incredibly easy to access, you know, with the stick in. Once you turn the system on, there's no, like, fucking around here, you essentially use the same menu. That's because, again, thanks to Sony's laziness, you're accessing the emulation settings. You know, it's like Sony did a bit of the work and you're doing the rest. So you've just got the same menu. Granted, it's bland, whatever. It gives you the same save states and stuff like that. So you can create your perfect PlayStation Classic of your own, and that's brilliant. And another reason I want to say about this, which comes back to, I'm not going to pick it up again, the memory card issue, right? Or issue thing, right? Some people said, oh, but it's a memory stick, sorry, memory stick. Is it that big a deal? Because the way I see it now, you know, and some people said, I'll just go the route of a modded PlayStation and just burn games. Takes up a lot of room, physical media, probably plays games better than this, obviously not in HD. But to me then, you can, because if you obviously rename each Sony stick, memory stick to Sony and go the route of, you know, putting the files on it, renaming what you need to do, or changing the text and stuff like that, there's no limit to the number of compilations or archives you can have. Literally, you can have a PlayStation Classic personal choice of yours for sort of every genre. Sports game, driving games, fighting games, strategy games, you know, rhythm games, stuff like that. So I think it's brilliant. This is another reason I think this is a, you know, a really, really good route to go to emulation, coupled with the price and the things I said earlier. Is a must-own now. It is a must-own. You can have multiple archives, and you can make the PlayStation Classic you always wanted, that Sony never gave you, but kind of gave you, because they were incredibly lazy and cash hungry, and it backfired. But as I said, maybe it will go full circle. Now we know how easy it is to do. So basically, just a quick video to say, because I badmouthed it a lot, but now I think it's awesome, and a large chunk of it is awesome thanks to my amazing mate Zarah. But yeah, you know, I think it deserves. Those people who bought it and sent it back, now it's super cheap. Again, the pie issue aside, there is a genuinely really strong reason, or reasons I should say now, price being the main one, that you should own this. So, anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think. Did you get one on pre-order? Were you disappointed? Did you send it back? Did you buy it again when it's cheap? Have you hacked it? Have you made your own personal collection? Do you agree that it is, you know, a very viable emulation, you know, or basically, you know, the PlayStation Classic we should have got? Is it worth buying now because of the reasons I said so? And if it isn't, let me know why you think not. And as always, massive thank you again to Zarah De La Rocha. And as always, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you later.